Condolences flood in for victims of Paris attack. Vasectomy and family planning vital. Corporate Mix Netball attracts organizations.
This is National EMTV News with Meriba Tulo.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for Saturday's news. We begin tonight's bulletin with a story that has been developing in Paris, France. Over the last 24 hours, the country is tonight counting the human cost of multiple deadly attacks in Paris that has left at least 153 dead and scores of others injured. A state of emergency has been declared. French borders have been closed off as security forces work to prevent other possible attacks. This report from CNN.
That these things happen north of the areas you normally know. If we go in here to Bataclan down here, this was a very short distance away from where the Charlie Hebdo attacks were, which we can see down here in the other part of the image. If you move into the theater, this theater is a medium-sized venue. It would hold about 1,000 people. And of course, if we move from there to the stadium further north, it's a very modern stadium that can seat about 80,000 people. And of course, there are going to be many questions about what this suicide bomber, as we're now told, intended as the target up here, because in fact we seem to have had one of the smallest numbers of casualties up here at this stadium, even though that's where the suicide bombers hit. But many questions about how these targets were chosen.
And we heard numerous more gunshots coming through the window, and shards of glass were hitting people lying down on the floor. I was holding a woman's arm next to me. And when I suddenly started to process what was happening, was asking around if people were okay, and I realized that she had been fatally wounded.
So she was saying it's a restaurant that maybe had 40 or so people in it. She was very lucky to survive. 112 at least killed at the Bataclan concert venue. Another 19 people killed. Some shootings outside Bar La Belle Equipe. Also 4 on the Avenue de la République, and then 4 outside the stadium where there was believed to be a suicide attack.
And there has been a strong reaction from leaders around the world who have issued strong condemnation against the attacks. U.S. President Barack Obama has offered his condolences to the French people and said the U.S. will stand with France and is ready to offer assistance if requested. Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull has also sent his condolences.
This is an attack not just on Paris, it's an attack not just on the people of France, but this is an attack on all of humanity and the universal values that we share. We stand prepared and ready to provide whatever assistance that the government and the people of France need to respond. France is our oldest ally. The French people have stood shoulder to shoulder with the United States time and again. And we want to be very clear that we stand together with them in the fight against terrorism and extremism.
Prime Minister Peter O'Neill is expected to release a formal statement expressing Papua New Guinea's condolences to the victims of the Paris attacks. Meanwhile, the Foreign Affairs Department is working closely with the French Embassy to establish if there were Papua New Guineans who were victims of the attack. French Ambassador to Papua New Guinea Pascal Maubert has joined leaders around the world conveying his condolences to the families of those who lost their lives in the Paris attack. The world became gripped with shock and sadness after learning of the attacks.
In an exclusive interview with EMTV this afternoon, French Ambassador Pascal Maubert assures Papua New Guineans with families living in France that although still to be confirmed, he is confident no Papua New Guineans have been involved or hurt in the attack.
It's just a measure of, of principle. In the framework of the state of emergency, that kind of decision has to be taken, but it has a very precise goal, which everybody understands. So it's, I guess it should not be too long, and it should not be interpreted as, a complete end of any movements, but it's just strengthening of the controls and strengthening of the security measures which are legitimate in that situation.
The ambassador, although saddened, was appreciative of the amount of support and solidarity shown following news of the attack.
So that's why I think we are not alone. It's just the beginning of, maybe it will take one generation, I don't know. And it's good to feel this solidarity.
Vanessa Knight, National EMTV News.
Moving on, and recent studies by Marie Stopes PNG have revealed the primary reason for choosing family planning methods was economic hardships couples face when burdened with too many children. Marie Stopes PNG commemorated World Vasectomy Day today as part of promoting vasectomy, a permanent family planning method.
Men are concerned about the amount of land to be able to provide to their children because land becomes scarce with the growing population. Professor Glenn Moller, head of reproductive health, clarified misunderstandings men have on vasectomy.
And there's no side effects of this operation. The pain of the injection lasts about 24 48 hours.
By increasing information on vasectomy, Marie Stopes hopes more men will prefer this as a family planning solution.
For men, there aren't very many methods of family planning available. It's either condoms or vasectomy.
The World Vasectomy Day aims to raise awareness to help men and women control birth, save lives, stop poverty, and support sustainable development. Melissa Goviro, National EMTV News.
Land grabbing continues to be an issue in Papua New Guinea. A recent case in Port Moresby is a portion of land at Mapai Street, Hohola. The land title holder, Thomas Fila, told EMTV News the land accommodates an education institution, the Pacific Institute of Applied Socio-Economic and Technical Studies.
Thomas Pila is the Executive Director and owner of Pacific Institute of Applied Socio-Economic Technical Studies. Pila claimed he is the title holder of portion of land sections 28 and 27, allotments 13, 83 and 88. Yesterday, he realized a private surveyor engaged by NCDC resurveyed portions of land at Mapai Street, which he had title over, which he said was illegal.
If there is a survey plan in place, you cannot do another survey over the property, because we got a title relying on the survey that we had.
He said this portion of land accommodates an institution educating over 2,000 students across the country. All our community leaders and the Pagwali and Jackson Guinea said the whole community is having a positive view of this institution, providing adequate educational services.
Community belum belum, legal field belum belum, I'm this level. So, I'm able to go to the institute. I'm field belum this level. Also, Martin.
Mr. Pila condemned actions of those who had illegally operated outside the scope of law. Eric Arupman, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. We'll have more stories for you after the break. Welcome back to the news. Air New Guinea Mendi has maintained their on-time performance, beating other ports within the Highlands region. The award was presented during the assessment workshop in Port Moresby.
Mendi, for the second time, has proven to be the top port performer of the Highlands region. Mendi scored a 95% on-time performance.
In my end, I want to say thank you to my team in Mendi for the support as the manager and the leader. It's all about leadership, and you lead by example.
Ground Operations and Aviation Security General Manager Marco McConnell said the Mendi team have maintained their performance.
The other port managers are also encouraged in the category D to do their best and see if they can come out winners alongside.
Customer service and change of management performance were key indicators to ground operations.
The workshops that we're holding now are regional, so it's more focused. With a smaller group, we identify our strategies that we have had throughout the year, and we measure and we now strategize forward. So basically it's all about the vision of Air New Guinea, which is to be the premier airline in Papua New Guinea, providing the best services in the region.
Marilyn Diaukatam, National EMTV News.
Despite transport difficulties, a remote school in Rigo District, Central Province, Utaika Primary School, will have its first permanent classroom. Building materials for the double classroom have arrived for construction work to proceed. Local leaders were concerned of the children's education despite the remoteness.
Utaika Primary School is tucked away in the Rigo inlands near Mount Brown. A population of 1,000 live along these mountains with no road access and no electricity. Despite the odds, this community is focusing on education with the aim of building a better school for the children.
Need to look like a real primary school for the quality education to come to our area.
The central provincial government for the first time is making moves to help build this school with its 2015 PSIP funds.
When you are educated, you go and work, you bring money home. It's sustainable development education.
This new primary school will have the first permanent classrooms, including an upgrade of its boarding facilities.
School subsidy loan, helping school loan, extension materials in schools.
Meanwhile, lack of health facilities has also seen many die from curable diseases. Governor Howder says a health center will be built soon.
Plan, 5-year plan, a program for one to come here. And if not, can we do something about it? But I will do my best to talk for you, to bring something here for our people.
More building materials will be airlifted for mobilization and construction to commence. Jack Lapava Jr. National, EMTV News.
School fights have become a worrying norm for several schools in Port Moresby. A fight briefly disrupted peace at Port Moresby's infamous Gordon's Market yesterday. As seen in this amateur footage, a fight broke out between students from De La Salle and Gordon's secondary schools. The incident is believed to be alcohol-related. The incident forced members of the public to rush for safety from flying objects. Character is the value most organizations are attracted to in the recruitment process of employment. This was highlighted by a human resource specialist. She said character matters most and not really academic performance.
Ms. Wano was a guest speaker in yesterday's International Training Institute 47th graduation. That was where she delivered the short but yet important message that today's employment preference is focused on character and value. It attracts more job opportunities over academic performance.
And the employment opportunity is slim and it's very, very competitive, because I would say in a ratio you can say maybe 20 or 30 students to one job.
While chances of employment are limited, discipline is one core value. While still a student, it is safer to be on work experiences to gain more knowledge and skills. Many students aim high, but forget that humble beginnings are what builds a person.
It's all about their attitudes, how they perform, behave when they start their job.
ITI Director Academic Sivanathan Sivaruban was optimistic of the courses offered that market students for employment.
Most of our students are getting a job in the labor market. We can say informal, say about 85% of students are working there.
A handful of graduates say they've already secured jobs and are looking forward to face the challenges ahead.
So I work right now, but I'll go back to studies, and after 2 years I'm planning to get a degree.
Melisigo Viro, National EMTV News.
Water drilling is taking place in parts of Madang province in attempts to address the current drought effects. Local MP Nixon Duban says this exercise is the first to provide clean, fresh water to the people of Madang district. This comes as communities in Madang struggle to access water sources for household use.
Communities in Madang will soon access clean, fresh water after water testing is completed from both sites. Madang MP Nixon Duban says the district administration is aware of the water woes faced in the province.
Paid attention to the request, we paid attention to the drought, and we will continue to address the matter as and when the need arises.
Progress has been made in the past 2 days to make water accessible to the affected communities. Drilling company United Pacific Drillers confirmed water tests look positive and people will soon have water taps in the communities.
Yes, the water is clear. It's no problem with the water. It's pure water.
and then we got a little bit of pressure coming out of the ground.
UPD's logistic manager James Tabara says a different method of drilling is used in this exercise.
It's called a diamond drilling technique. We're running that system to determine level of water, and then we know exactly how far we can drill to get permanent water that can last.
Similar drilling exercise will take place in selected parts of Madang district to cater for the affected communities as El Nino effects continue.
What will happen is that we'll drill, find the water, we'll supply the tanks, and we'll do the plumbing also. And we will target certain communities who are in desperate need of water.
Jack Lapava Jr., National EMTV News.
Sir Andrew Trawan has resigned from Papua New Guinea Electoral Commission after serving 11 years as Chief Electoral Commissioner. Sir Andrew was appointed to his highest rank as Commissioner in 2004 and has been one of the longest-serving members of the Commission.
Sir Andrew is the 7th Electoral Commissioner of Papua New Guinea. Sir Andrew is the longest-serving election executive in the Pacific and only election officer who has fully participated in all 8 national general elections, clocking 41 years of loyalty.
It is indeed a really humbling experience for me to stand here before you all on the eve of my departure as Electoral Commissioner of Papua New Guinea.
Reflecting on his career, Sir Andrew said failed elections in the 2012 national general election at the islands region was his greatest challenge. This includes the introduction of the limited preferential voting systems during national elections and by-elections, in his capacity transferring electoral powers and function to the autonomous Bougainville government.
All good things must come to an end.
Sir Andrew will officially vacate his office in January 2016. Takla Gunga, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. We'll have for you Trukai Sports after the break. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Duban Kalibobo Lighthouse Invitational Sevens kicked off today in Madang, with Marba's provincial teams registering wins in day 1 of the competition. The finals will be held tomorrow. The 2015 Port Moresby Corporate Mixed Netball competition has attracted interest from many organizations, turning up in numbers for the matches. It's now into its second weekend at the Rita Flynn Netball Courts.
The Rita Flynn Netball Courts came alive today for the 2015 Mixed Netball competition. Various corporate houses such as TNT, Air Niugini and DHL turned up in numbers.
When we first registered, we had 42 interested companies and 39 registered teams. So as you can see, we have the men involved in this netball competition as well. It's all about fun. So we have, as long as we have 4 men playing in any one half, is exciting.
It's really good. Everyone's trying to get back into the spirit of bringing the games back to these courts, and yeah.
Mixed corporate netball is a great avenue to promote gender equality, with men turning out as well in numbers to enjoy the competition.
Fun with our male counterparts is very good,
Yes.
And gender equality remains here when you come out and express your relationship with both female and male, and we see that this competition is very, very good, and we would encourage all men to come out here and join the women colleagues, and let's enjoy, play the sport, and be fit.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's an equal opportunity sport, and there's no competition better than a bit of competition between men and women.
The tournament will run through the month of November in preparation for the 2016 netball competition. Dion Kombang, National EMTV Sports.
Back to rugby union, and the PNG Palais lost their first match in the Oceania Sevens competition to Cook Islands 29-7. But today the Palais registered their first win after beating Tonga 20 points to 5.
PNG went into the match hoping for a win. 4 minutes into the match,
Cassandra Sampson crossed over for their first try.
Nice work from Sampson. She really is their strike weapon out wide, and she goes over for the first try of this match.
A minute after, captain Debbie Caro and former boxer managed to scramble across the line, bringing the Palai score to 10-0 at half-time.
Tried to get it back, and yes, it's a try. And she's pretty happy about it too.
Well, she was a big... In the second half, Debbie Caro again went over for her second try. An inside pass from Sampson sent her over.
Inside. She's got the wrapper outside her, and Kaori, the try scorer in the first half, and that was very well worked from side to side.
Experienced sevens player Dulcie Bomai managed to cross over for her first, bringing the score up to 20-0.
A little bit of a goosey too from Bomai, just to entertain the crowd.
Yeah, well, they're skillful, they're confident, and they're
a few minutes before full time, Tonga crossed over for a try from Shelley Mailangi. An unsuccessful conversion kick left the score at 20 points to 5.
Took it on her own shoulders, quick tap, went to the right-hand side and over.
Elijah Levette, National EMTV Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports for today. We'll bring you the weather details when we come back.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Taking a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. First of all, in the southern region, partly cloudy for Port Moresby. To the Momasa region, evening showers expected in Lae. To the New Guinea Islands region, Kokopo and Rabaul, you can expect fine weather. And in the Highlands region, partial rain and showers in Mount Hagen. And that ends the news for Saturday, November the 14th, 2015. On behalf of the EMTV News team, pleasant viewing. Good night.